Hi, friends. I'm Lori Palau, host of the popular weekly podcast, This Organized Life, founder of Simply Be Organized, and author of the book, Hot Mess, A Practical Guide to Getting Organized. For the past 7 years, we've been sharing stories, interviews, and strategies to help you live a more organized life. Whether you're struggling with physical clutter, calendar clutter, digital clutter, or just overwhelmed with the mental load of all the things, we're here to help you every step of the way. We know that one of the biggest struggles many of us face is time, and even finding the time to listen to a 45-minute long episode might not even be doable, which is why we've created this Organized Life Tip of the Week. These short episodes are designed to give you a little boost to start your week off on the right foot in under 15 minutes. This might be something that I'm doing in my personal life that I wanted to share, a tip that someone shared with me that I want to pass along to you, or maybe it might just be a prompt or story to help you think differently about the true meaning of clutter. New episodes of our Tip of the Week are automatically going to show up in your podcast feed on Mondays, and our regular long-form episodes will continue to drop each and every Thursday. Now, if you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe or follow button for instant access to all of our 300 plus past episodes. And if you're already subscribed to TOL, there's nothing that you need to do. Our bonus episodes should already be in your feed. Regardless of whether you just found us or you're one of our OG listeners, I am so happy that you're here. Now, let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Lori here from This Organized Life podcast, and I am really excited because today we are kicking off this entirely new kind of spinoff slash bonus episode, I guess is what you would call it, from our regularly long form interview type shows that we've been bringing you for years. And we're calling it our tip of the week. And it's something that we've been playing around with for a while because I know sometimes people really want to listen to an entire episode, but life gets in the way. And maybe just taking away a few nuggets of wisdom or getting some specific actionable advice is just what you need to move you a little bit forward, just turn the dial a little bit to help you feel productive and motivated to tackle the clutter that you're struggling with, or maybe peel back on something, start saying no to things. Obviously, if you've been with us for a while, you know that we talk about 3 main types of clutter at This Organized Life. We talk about physical clutter, the stuff that you see. We talk about emotional clutter, which is the guilt and fear that holds you back from getting rid of things. And then we talk about calendar clutter, which is feeling or being overscheduled, not being able to say no to things, always saying yes. And so throughout these tip of the weeks, I might just reference physical, emotional, calendar clutter. And I just want to give a little bit of context if you are new to our show and just kind of finding us. So in addition to that, we have other types of clutter. We have digital clutter. We've got financial clutter. We've got relational clutter. So there's all of these other kind of branches, if you will, to sort of the clutter tree. But we primarily want to talk about how can you simplify your life in whatever way that looks like, whether that's the physical stuff, whether that's building more margin into your day, whether that's absolving you of guilt, being a people pleaser, doing things for other people for the wrong reasons, all of that. So I want to start by having today's episode be about something that I've been doing for years, way before I even started Simply Be Organized, way before I started this podcast. And it's just something that I know I'm not alone in this sentiment. And it's the one thing that I do every day. And that one thing is making my bed. And I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but when I talk to people and they say, where do I begin? I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know how or where to begin getting onto a journey of organization and routine and all of these things. And the first question I always ask people is, do you make your bed every day? And the reason that I ask that is because it is, again, something that I have always done. I think it stemmed from being raised that my mom always made her bed right away and taught us at a young age to make our beds. And it was just something that we did. And without even realizing what that was doing is essentially was setting the tone for the day. And it gives you that little win, that little sense of accomplishment, whether you realize it or not. And when you're doing it for so long, and if it's something that you've grown up doing, then it just is like brushing your teeth. It's just another thing, part of that morning routine. And if you don't do that, you might be like, I've gone through my whole life and I've never made my bed, or what's the point of making my bed? I'm just going to crawl back into it. And I get all of that, those sentiments. The problem is if you never have this full sense of satisfaction, completion, and we are starting and ending our day with a clean page. And so I kind of look at the making of the bed as turning that page. You are turning the page to a new day, and then you are turning the page at the end of the day. And so it gives you a starting and an ending. And in the realm of organization, that is a really key component. And there's actually a book. It's a famous book called Make Your Bed. And it was also, I believe, a TEDx speech. I know it was a famous speech. I'm not sure if it was TED or not, so don't quote me on that. And it was by Admiral, God, if I could speak, William H. McRaven. And he gave this speech, actually, I stand corrected. He gave the speech at a university-wide commencement at UT in Austin in May of 2014. And it really talks about the sense of accomplishment. And as a Navy SEAL, this was something that he was taught to do. You had to do it. It was an order that had to be completed every day. But what it does is start establishing that habit and that regimen. And anybody that is somebody who lives an organized life and practices the little steps that it takes to live an organized life will tell you that it's the little wins. It's not the big things. It's the everyday little things that lead you to that overall sense of calm and freedom that comes from reducing that clutter and disorganization in your life. And so again, doesn't cost a dime. It maybe should take you an extra 2 to 5 minutes to make your bed. And so if you are somebody that is, listen, I snooze my alarm 50,000 times and then get up and race out the door, maybe that's an indication that you might want to start building in that buffer, that 5 or 10 minute buffer. We'll talk about building a morning routine in another episode. Again, we want to make these very, very bite-sized, actionable things. And so for today, the only thing that I want you to do, if you are not doing it, is start making your bed. I want you to practice doing it every single day. Whether you live alone, whether you are married, whether you have family, whether you have roommates, you make your bed every day. And just start to see if you notice when you come in at night. I don't think you're going to notice it as much in the morning, but when you come back into your bedroom at the end of the day, start to notice, do you feel a little bit of sense of calm or a little bit of sense of accomplishment or like a difference rather than moving right back into the crumpled sheets and pillows? So that's it. I hope you enjoyed our very first tip of the week episode. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you click the subscribe or plus button or follow, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We have over 300 long form episodes for you. So you can go back and listen to whichever topics interest you. Make sure that you follow us on social media. Our parent company is Simply Be Organized, so you can definitely check us out there. This Organized Life podcast is our Facebook group where you can post questions, comments, and we would love to hear from you. So make sure that you leave us a review or ask your questions even in the rate and review section, because we do check those as well. So until next week, I am Lori Palau. Peace out.